Hello everyone, I'm Thayang and we are reading Chinese newspaper. The second largest real estate group in China is facing potential defaults to the tune of 260 billion euros. This crisis is quite similar to Lehman crisis in 2008 in USA and quite be called the Lehman moment of China. The crisis does not have impact only on Chinese economy and stock market, but has significant impact on global economy and global stock markets. Tracing the development of the恒大or Evergrand group, on 20th September, various stock markets fell significantly. Let us read how this report was covered in various newspapers.恒大, that is the name of the second largest real estate group in China. Ironically, Heng means permanent and Ta means big. Heng-Ta together is permanently big or permanently grand, translated in English as Evergrand. Ironically, this is not quite true for the group because it is facing significant losses and possibility of default. Heng-Ta 今天9月20日 Today on 20th September, the Heng-Ta Group 在香港 and Hong Kong 暴跌 fell down, Chin around 10% after falling 10%. 之后 later after it fell 10% in Hong Kong today on 20th September. 赶下来开设了欧美股市 with it brought down the opening markets of Europe and America. May is Europe and America. 股市 stock markets. So after falling 10% in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, Evergrand Group also brought down the opening markets of Europe and America. 受到影响 影响 is influence, tracing the influence or feeling the influence. 巴黎 Paris, 伦敦 London, 法兰克福 Frankfurt 和华尔街 Wall Street. Wall Street is 华尔街 and Wall Street. 都走低 Zo is to walk, D is low. All these markets walked low or opened low. Paris, Paris, London, London, 法兰克福 Frankfurt, 华尔街 Wall Street. All these markets moved low. 恒大的股价今天周一 股价 is stock price or stock value. 今天 today. 周一 around 在香港11年 11 years 香港 in Hong Kong 来最低点 lowest point. So this is the lowest point of this group's stock price in 11 years in Hong Kong. 收盘下跌了 收盘 at closing 下跌 fell 9.84%. So at the closing it fell around 9.84%. 在一年中 in 1 year. 恒大集团 is group. The Hengda Group in 1 year. The Hengda or Evergrand Group. The 市场价值 市场 is market. 价值 is value. 崩坏了 崩坏 is collapse. 85%. In 1 year, the group's Evergrand's group value, stock value or market value has collapsed 崩溃 by 85%. So it is only 15% of its value that was 1 year ago. 恒大的悠悠有追到欧美股市，悠悠有追，悠悠 is shaking, 有追 is about to fell down. 影响 influence 到 arrived 欧美股市 American and the European stock markets. The shaking and about to fell down influence of the Hengda or Evergrande Group reached the American and European stock markets. 下跌运动 下跌 is down, 运动 movement, 首先 first of all, 到香港 so the downward influence first reached Hong Kong. 收盘收尾 minus 3.3%. 收盘 is at the closing. Sure time. Wait for. So at the closing time, it was for minus 3.3% or down 3.3 percentage. 然后是欧洲巴黎下跌 2.26%. 然后 later 澳洲 Europe 巴黎 Paris 下跌 fell down 2.26%. So first influence was felt in Hong Kong, where it was closed at 3.3%. Next, the influence was in Europe, in Paris market, where it was down by 2.26%. London 下跌 1.55%. London is London. 下跌 fell. London fell by 1.55%. Milan, that is Milan, 在格林威治 Berlin Wager is Greenwich time. Berlin is green. Wager is Greenwich mean 射箭 time. 10:48. So Milan at Greenwich mean time of 10:48. Zoyo at around. Zoyo is left or right or somewhere around. Tie 2.30 fell by 2.3%. Hua Erjie, the Wall Street. Qihua, unsure. Qihua is futures. Unsure is to predict. Unsure. Tongyang, same. So Wall Street's future predicted the same. Mingyun, future or fortune. The futures at Wall Street also predicted towards a same destiny or future. Mingyun is future or destiny as the European stock markets. So they were also significantly down. Kang Kaipan. Kaipan is opening quote. Just at the opening quote. Nasdaq, the Nasdaq. Just at the opening quote or opening quotation of the futures. Nasdaq. 指数就放弃了 1%. So it fell by 1% in the opening quotation. 道琼斯指数跌 1.53%. 道琼斯 that is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones's index fell by 1.53%. 被估计 Zong Gongchen. Gucci is estimated. Zong Gongchen total. So estimated total. 被估计 Zong Gongchen by estimated total 2600 E. E is 100 million. So 2600 E is about 260 billion. So by an estimated debt of 260 billion, pay by Gucci estimated Zong Kong. So the estimated total debt of 2600 E or 100 millions or 260 billion. 欧元的债务 欧元 is European euro. 欧元的债务 债务 is debt by an estimated debt of about 260 billion euros. 缩拖累 to drag down. 拖 is to pull. Lay is drag or down. So it pulled down. So estimated total debt of 260 billion euros pulled it down. 中国的第二 China's second 房地产公司 the real estate company. 房地产 that is real estate 公司 company, the second largest real estate company in China. 正在 right now 努力 difficult 出售 to sell off. 资产 assets 一路申请债务义务 义务 that is to fulfill, 债务 is financial, 义务 obligation. In order to fulfill its financial obligation, it is struggling to sell off its assets. 支付 to pay off, 供应商 the suppliers, 和 and 投资者 investors in order to pay off the suppliers and investors. The second largest real estate company in China is struggling to sell off its asset to fulfill its financial obligation to pay off its suppliers and investors. 而欠债的违约 is a breach of contract. 而欠 is potential. 而欠债的违约 a potential breach of contract or a potential default. 违约 is breach of contract or default, a potential default. 可能 perhaps 会 will 破坏 that is a disaster. Perhaps would be a disaster. 中国大部分金融体系 Zhongguo is China's 大 big 部分 part. 金融 is financial. 体系 is system. So it would be a breach of contract of the Hongkong group,恒大group or Evergrand group would be a potential disaster, would be a disaster for a big part of China's economy and its financial system. This was the coverage of the crisis of Evergrand group. Let us have a look at the keywords which we have learned. Hengda, Evergrand, 热趁 asset, 体系 system, 金融 financial or finance, 投资 investor, 供应商 suppliers, 华尔街 Wall Street, 股市 stock exchange or stock markets, 巴黎 Paris, London London, Milan is Milan, 期货 futures, 命运 is destiny or future. This was the coverage of Evergrande crisis, real estate crisis, the second largest, second biggest real estate company in China facing potential default, similar to Lehman crisis in US in 2008.